Hi, this is TheTopal, and in this video I'll talk about 25 games you should play on Xbox Game Pass. You won't see the games like Forza Horizon, Jedi Fallen Order or Death Stranding in this list. I'll try to talk about the games that are relatively less well known. There are so many games available on Game Pass and it can be hard to choose, so here's a few to get started. In As Dusk Falls, we witness the stories of two families over several generations. The game has a beautiful art style that is a combination of hand drawings and 3D graphics. The genre is narrative-driven interactive fiction, so there is no one character that we can control and move around. What the game offers instead is an experience of choices and consequences that span generations and several intertwining storylines. With an original art style and intriguing story, As Dusk Falls is definitely worth a try. Tunic is an action-adventure game where we play as a cute little fox. Although the puzzles, action and exploration in Tunic have been compared to The Legend of Zelda, I can't simply say it's a copy of Zelda. Tunic was one of the most successful indie games I played recently. It doesn't spoon-feed the player and instead lets you find ways to explore on your own, and I love that approach. Also, Tunic received BAFTA Game Awards for Best Debut Game and Best Artistic Achievement. I believe BAFTA awards are more valuable than the others because some other awards rely on sponsorships and tend to be more biased. There is no doubt that Tunic is a great game and I really recommend it. Prey is probably one of the most underrated games of the last decade. It's a sci-fi first-person shooter developed by Arcane Studios. As the main character Morgan Yu, we fight against alien life forms on the space station Talos 1. Over the course of the game, we explore the station and discover dark secrets. Prey offers a tense and immersive experience with a whole range of weapons, the character's unique abilities, an immersive atmosphere, and enemies that can come at you out of nowhere. When you enter a room, you don't know if there's an enemy at first glance, because the enemies called mimics can camouflage themselves to look like inanimate objects in the environment. This feature makes the game especially tense and can be even scary. If you try this game, keep your eyes peeled for unexpected enemies and watch your back. Coffee Talk is a visual novel. We play as a barista in a coffee shop and serve various drinks to customers with diverse backgrounds. We get to listen to their life stories and intriguing events from their past. Coffee Talk invites you to sit down with a cup of coffee and dive into a game with calm gameplay, beautiful stories, and a relaxing atmosphere. You can find both the first and second game on Game Pass. If you're feeling the pressures of life, this game might be a nice way to unwind, so give it a go. If you're addicted to relaxing cleaning videos on TikTok, this game is for you. You take a power washer and clean anything and everything. As you progress in the game, you'll unlock more tools and get an even more satisfying cleaning experience. PowerWash Simulator promises extremely satisfying and relaxing gameplay. You can play it with your friends too, but I mostly prefer to play these kind of simulation games while I'm watching a show or listening to a podcast on the side because I don't have any friends. Anyways, spare some storage space in your computer for PowerWash Simulator for the times when you want to relax by completely zoning out. Pentiment is from Obsidian, who we mainly know from Fallout New Vegas, Pillars of Eternity and the Outer Worlds. The first thing that catches your eye when you see the game is the visually pleasing and unusual art style. Pentiment takes its art style inspiration for illustrations from the time period in which it is set. We play as an illustrator in 16th century Bavaria and find ourselves in the middle of a murder mystery. We investigate a series of murders and have to bear the consequences of the decisions we make while trying to find the killer. The game focuses heavily on the story, which is shaped greatly by the player's choices. Pentiment may not be for everyone, but it is certainly a special and unique experience. When a lot of people first saw this game, they thought of it as poor man's Breath of the Wild. This isn't entirely unfair. Immortals Fenyx Rising is heavily inspired by Breath of the Wild, but it also has few differences. The game takes place in the world of Greek mythology. You fight mythical creatures, explore the wide open world, and solve various puzzles. The quality of the puzzles and the satisfaction you get from exploring the open world pale in comparison to Breath of the Wild. However, the well-executed combat and large skill tree are enough to keep the player interested. Crusader Kings III is a grand strategy game. Your goal is to ensure the dynasty you rule survives for centuries and weathers wars, intrigues, and political decisions. There are always conspiracies and plots forming behind your back. For example, one night you could be strangled by your son who's trying to take your throne. You have to navigate through challenges of inheritance, alliances, and religious tensions to expand your realm and leave a lasting legacy. Crusader Kings III is the kind of game you can easily play for hundreds of hours without even noticing the passage of time. If you're looking for arcade car racing, you should give Hot Wheels Unleashed a go. You can race on imaginative tracks filled with loops, jumps, and obstacles. You can also create your own tracks and play with your friends. And there is not much else to it. Hot Wheels Unleashed is exactly what it says on the tin. I wasn't going to add Yakuza games to this list because I thought it was well known anyway, but I realized there are still many people who either haven't heard of it or haven't played it, so I decided to talk about the Yakuza franchise. The Yakuza series presents us with the dark and criminal side of Japan. Yakuza games have been an important part of the action-adventure genre for years with their fun and exhilarating fights, immersive world, and intriguing storytelling. Side contents are a very important part of the game, and you can tell the developers put a lot into creating these. You can find many different side activities from karaoke and gambling to playing baseball and running a business. The Yakuza series holds a special place in the hearts of many players because of its interesting characters, unique blend of humor and seriousness, and the varied gameplay it offers. This is a must-try series, and lucky for us, all 8 main games are included on Xbox Gamepass. Lost in Random is a game developed with support from EA Originals. EA Originals funds and publishes games from independent studios with all the profits going back to the developers. Lost in Random is an action-adventure game inspired by dark fairy tales. You go on an adventure with a girl called Even and a living dice called Dicey. Dicey determines the mechanics of almost the entire gameplay. The game brings together puzzles, exploration, and a strategic combat system. Alongside the game's interesting world and atmosphere, this creates another worthwhile game to help you pass your time. Dead's Door is an action-adventure game where you control a crow whose mission is to collect the souls of the dead. When one of the souls you need to collect is stolen, you go on an adventure to find it. Along your journey, you encounter puzzles and challenging enemies. Dead's Door has a visually pleasing art style and color palette. It has fun puzzles and easy controls and provides a beautiful experience for around 10 hours of gameplay. My Friend Pedro is full of pure action. At the behest of a sentient banana named Pedro, we engage in acrobatic gunfights with stylish slow motion sequences through various levels. The things you can do in the game will make you feel badass. Split aiming, slow motion, using the environment to kill enemies, and so on. They all feel smooth and satisfying. If you want to just have unlimited action, this is your game. Loop Hero is an interesting, unique, and addictive game. Our hero is in a loop, and there are cards on our deck that represent map tiles. Using these map tiles, such as villages, castles, etc., will help our hero to remember features like forests, rivers, mountains, and so on. And this will bring those areas back to reality. Of course, these tiles will have both good and bad sides. When you pass through them, you'll gain boost on your different skills, but also each tile will make our hero encounter different enemies. Fishmen will attack from water, beasts will try to hunt you in the forest, and so on. So you have to arrange the tiles carefully and strategically so as to not overwhelm your hero. Soma is a sci-fi horror game set below the Atlantic Ocean. We find ourselves trapped in a facility after a brain scan goes wrong. As we start to explore the environment, we meet sentient machines and creatures. Throughout the journey, we question the nature of identity and consciousness and the relationship between mind and body. The atmosphere that Soma creates is creepy but also intriguing. Soma makes you confront existential dilemmas without boring you. Slime Rancher 2 is an early access game, but still you can spend hours playing it. Basically, you catch slimes and keep them in your slime range, and after some time you can expand your range. It is a chill game you can play while watching or listening to something on the side. In Townscaper, there is no goal or challenge and no need to worry about any resource management. You just build streets, small hamlets, or sky cities as you wish. Everything you'll do in this game will make you want to screenshot it and use it as a wallpaper. Astroneer is a sandbox adventure game set in space exploration and colonization. Players embark on a journey to discover distant planets, unearthing valuable resources, and unraveling the mysteries of the universe. You can build and customize bases, vehicles, and gadgets to aid in your exploration. With its colorful art style, co-op option, and open-ended gameplay, Astroneer offers an immersive and creative experience. Unpacking is a relaxing puzzle game where you pull possessions out of boxes and fit them into a new home. With a teddy bear or a notebook, you get ideas about what's going on with the owner of the objects throughout the years. Unpacking has been awarded BAFTA Best Narrative Award, and it is well deserved. Without any text or need to spell out the story, the game helps you understand what someone you don't know is going through. Hollow Knight has become the gate to Metroidvania games for many players. With beautiful art style, world and character designs, and great gameplay, it has become one of the best examples of Metroidvania games. Even though Hollow Knight stands out with cute characters at first glance, don't let that fool you. This is a Souls-like game, especially the boss fights will challenge your skills. The well-designed platforms, satisfying combat, temptation of discovering more of the world of Hollow Knight, and great soundtracks will keep you in this game easily more than 20-25 hours. If you're waiting for the full release of Baldur's Gate 3 like me, Pillars of Eternity and Pillars of Eternity 2 can be great games to keep you busy. They're party-based, isometric RPGs. Basically, you gather characters around you and embark on epic adventures, meet interesting NPCs, and experience surprising events during your journey. In my opinion, the second game is better than the first one, but it is still worth it to play both. Citizen Sleeper is inspired by tabletop RPGs and the freedom they give to the players. In the game, we choose our path and see the effects of our decisions on the responsive world that surrounds us. The game uses dice, clocks, and drives to give you full control without any interference. In this amazing sci-fi setup, build friendships, uncover truths, and try to survive. Immortality is a narrative adventure game. We have the footage of 3 unreleased films of actress Marissa Marcel, and we have the ability to teleport from scene to scene to find out what happened to her and try to unravel the mystery. Immortality offers a unique experience. It's definitely not for everyone, but if you want to play something different, Immortality might provide what you need. Dead Cells is one of the best examples of action roguelike genre. In each run, which means each time you play till you die, you'll get new improvements, weapons and skills and try to go as far as you can. When you die, you start from the beginning, but this is the main mechanic of the game, and the game doesn't make it boring for the player. Each run actually teaches you things, and for the following runs you'll have, you get even stronger and wiser. The gameplay of Dead Cells is so smooth and easy to get used to. You'll find yourself in the flow of the game soon enough. Dead Cells can also open the doors of a whole new genre for you. I definitely recommend playing it. Enjoy the low poly landscapes along with your bike. Make your way through dense forests, steep slopes and rocky cliffs. You'll try to find the safest and fastest ways to reach the finish line with the great physics system that game has, but you'll probably crash a lot and try again. However, the game lets you find a balance between a relaxing game and a challenging game. I think Lonely Mountains has replayability and fun core mechanics. Of course there are more games worth playing on Game Pass, but for now I want to talk about only 25 of them. Don't hesitate to share the games you would suggest in the comments, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. Take care and see you in the next one.